Due to the success of the Manufacturing Competitiveness and Enhancement program, which has to date attracted over 4,000 applications, the Department of Trade and Industry is temporarily suspending new applications with effect from the 1st of November. The MCEP is one of the department's programs within the Industrial Policy Action Plan, meant to provide support for the manufacturing industry. So from our Cape Town studios now, we are joined by Malebo Mabitje-Thompson, who is the Deputy Director General within the department. It's good to have you on the program. Thank you very, very much for joining us on Morning Live.
Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. What are the origins of the Manufacturing Competitiveness Enhancement Program?
This program was launched in 2012, just after the onset of the global economic crisis, to assist companies in the manufacturing sector in particular to weather a very terrible time and storm, both in terms of loss of markets, given that a number of economies were shrinking at the time, and of course increased competition because everybody wanted to be selling to everybody who wasn't buying at the time. So the Department of Trade and Industry, working with enterprises in the manufacturing sector, designed a program that was focusing on improving the competitiveness of our manufacturers through improved processes and also buying equipment that assists them to be more competitive. And this is what the program was about. And our agreement with the manufacturers at the time is that they need to retain the jobs and make sure that they are involved in sustainable enterprises.
Why at this point are you suspending support?
We're suspending support mainly because we have reached full subscription of the funding that was allocated to the project, over 5 billion, which was allocated. There is an interest that is still out there from manufacturers on the program. That is why it's important that we communicate to them that we are fully subscribed and that full 4 years ahead of target, we have already achieved the targets that were set out for this particular program. All companies that were supported by this program have indeed retained jobs. We're talking well over 50,000 jobs that are retained in the manufacturing sector. They are all committed to black economic empowerment. They've improved their productive capacities and ensured that they are employing sustainable productive production methods in their processes.
I mean, the fact that you are overscribed, does that actually bode well for the growth in the manufacturing sector in the country?
That is the case.
Yeah.
We from working with manufacturers are very clear that South Africans are interested in manufacturing and they understand the importance of manufacturing. And it is important that from a government perspective, support is made available so that the economy is diversified and we are not, the economy is not reliant just on one sector, which will obviously be a disaster for the economy.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the kind of support that you are giving. What do you do? What is it that you are offering?
Right. In relation to the MCEP, I mentioned the fact that the focus was on increasing our company's competitiveness. It had two components. There was a loan component, which was supporting pre and post shipment support. It was working capital, and then there was a grant component which assisted with procurement of equipment. We were not buying equipment for manufacturers, but we were de-risking the process of buying equipment at a time where banks were not lending to the sector, at least at the rate that the sector was requiring.
All right, I want to actually play a clip very quickly now while I'm talking to you and I have you here. What's so nice is to actually hear from one of the beneficiaries of this program and find out what it's been like for them, because it's one thing hearing from you, but it's another thing actually hearing from a beneficiary. So let's take a look.
My name is Martin Lotto. I'm the financial manager of First Impression Films. We print flexographic labels for corporate South Africa. We've seen an increase year on year of 20% in volume. We now currently employ 109 full-time staff.
NG Screens, on the other hand, was born out of the realization that we needed to differentiate ourselves further from our customers, who we found that we were heading into direct competition with. We would never have been able to effectively do this program without the DTI's assistance.
Well, that's a really good and wonderful accolade for the department. So, I mean, this is a great example of a success story coming out of it.
Yes, that is one of the many success stories that are coming out, a whole 1,100 worth of them. Of companies that we believe, without the support of the department, would not have been able to upgrade their facilities and be at a place where they are now in the market and in terms of their own competitiveness improvement processes.
Yeah, I mean, and I have to say this is not the only program that's been helping people at the DTI. I know that there are many others, but the bottom line is there's still going to be a lot of applicants that are very upset that they cannot apply for this. Talk us through the future. What can we expect going forward? When will they be open once again? And finally, will you be rerouting them to other departments to perhaps find help?
Okay. Government continues to be committed to the manufacturing sector, and I don't think that is in question. You correctly mentioned the fact that there are other programs that the department is managing, which are directed at improving competitiveness. The 12 ITEX incentive is one such, where we are focusing on investments that are 50 million and above, if it is an expansion, or 30 million and above if it is greenfield. Again, there the focus is on making sure that our companies use state-of-the-art facilities, and then they are also producing using much more sustainable methods. So that program will continue. The program that we're doing on industrial infrastructure with our special economic zones will also continue, and all the other programs where the DTI has been successful in stimulating activity in industry, in the film sector as an example, in the BPS, business processing sector as another example, will continue. We are suspending this, and we're suspending the MCEP in particular temporarily. We're hoping that we will receive funding in the coming financial year in April, whereupon we will be able to open a new window if we do receive the funding. That is work that is currently underway with the National Treasury. So the work to secure funding is underway, but for now, for the money that was allocated for the program, we fully subscribed.
All right, let's just wrap it up by giving out some details, and if people are interested in getting involved in the future and they need more advice from the department, where do they go?
The department has a client care facility. This is where our investors will receive support and enter the department's processes. So client care at the DTI .gov.za is the initial point where any queries can be lodged, and then from there we will redirect them to whoever is the relevant person within the department to deal with the query.
All right, thank you so much for talking to us here on the program. And Malebo Mabitje-Thompson is the Deputy Director General at the Department of Trade and Industry. Thank you so much for being our guest here on the program. All right.
Thank you very much, and thanks to the manufacturers.
Absolute pleasure, an absolute pleasure. All right, the time now is 6 minutes before the